Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we are talking about prepper items you can still buy for under £1, and it doesn't just include food. I've promised that video for a little while, and I know it's probably more of interest for you guys in America and the different countries, just to really see what we can actually still get for under the pound. But of course some of you in UK might find this of interest at all. And as I said guys, we are literally covering a lot of things. And I think I find it to be fair when I see this in front of me, and I know this is not a totally complete list, and it will be slightly what may be different to the things that you choose to keep in a pantry, in your stockpile. However, I'm still quite surprised by having this in front of me and actually seeing all this stuff together, how much of it is still very, very cheap. We all know the prices are only going to go up, and a lot of the things actually was holding on to their prices for quite a while. So we know the price is only going to go up, and potentially whatever shortages might come across towards the end of this year, maybe next year, who knows. So without further ado, I'm just going to take you through the items there. They are purchased from a different supermarkets for obvious reasons, because unfortunately, as you know, the prices in the stocks vary, and to be able to find the best deal for under £1, you kind of have to be in the different places. I totally understand it's not for everybody, but obviously if you do sort of pop in somewhere, just always keep an eye on things you might need, because you sometimes will find specific bargains that will be quite a bit cheaper that you wouldn't find anywhere else. So we go with the basics guys, with the first and the key prepping items guys. We're talking about, say, porridge oats. They keep pretty much indefinitely in a vacuum pack, and they're currently 19 pence. They have gone up from obviously 74p, and I think they're going to hit the pound mark very, very soon. So I'm still buying the porridge oats, and I think it's still a-okay. For 90p, I think it's still a-okay price. Flour. Although the bread flour is quite a bit dearer now than normal flour, but plain flour and self-raising flour you can still pick up for under £1. I think Lidl, they are currently 89p. Tesco's, you can buy this Stockpile for 69p. So they're quite way below the pound mark. We still, of course, rice is still a key. Yes, it's now 55 pence an Asda and 52p in all the other supermarkets. Again, it's absolutely key staple, and it's still super, super cheap. I know multiple of you guys keep, every time I mention rice and pasta, you're like, oh my god, this is so, so cheap. And of course, we're including the people's wages and everything in consideration. It's still very cheap, even by UK's wages and minimum wages. It's still very cheap and filling food to have, okay? The same as for the pasta, guys. They are now 31p, I believe. It's still, for half a kilo, it's still a very good price. And of course, this is major, well, most of the preppers' key staple if you like pasta. Even if you don't, you probably should have some anyway, because it is so cheap, and again, it will last you a very, very long time. So I'll progress from here onwards, because I probably missed something anyway. So we're talking about long life milk, guys. Excuse my smashed date, but that was actually due now, 7/23rd, so we are now in July. Long life milk everywhere apart from Lidl is still below £1, and Asda seems to be the cheapest one out of them all, followed by Tesco's, and then obviously then is Lidl. It's still a very good thing to have, as you would know guys, and it will last past that date by quite a while. As I said, it's due now. We're probably going to quite a few of them, so we'll probably be consuming this good 3 months past this date, but that's absolutely fine. Moving on to tins, right? It'd probably be a surprise to all of you, but it's been at some point we have had prices of like beans and stuff going through the roof in the tins. However, at the moment we're still luckily enough that they haven't crossed the pound mark like in many countries. So we're talking about chickpeas, mixed beans, black beans, all sorts of beans. You can still pick up some of them at 39 pence. 39 pence. Chickpeas like Freshona from Lidl, anything between 59p to 69p depending on the bean. However, it's still a very, very good value, and they do have a huge long date. So I'm super, super chuffed. Next one is, although it's on the brink, this is the Freshona fruit cocktail from Lidl. It has been 85 pence, it's now 95 pence. It will cross this mark probably very soon, considering it's been going up a little bit at the time quite consistently. So this is still a good, considering guys, depending of course what you're prepping for, but if there's lack of fresh fruit, vegetables, blah blah blah, to be able to pick up a tin of fruit salad, you can't compare this of course to the fresh fruits anyway. Under £1 I think is still a really good buy. Moving on to tin potatoes. They only gone up by a penny, 38 pence for a Lidl tin potatoes. It's really, really good. 560 grams. it's very good value. It's literally really, really good value. I'm growing a lot of my potatoes in the allotment. I'm gonna put some in a long-term storage. However, I still have a lot of that because they're kind of convenient and easy, but super, super cheap. I'm well excited to have a few of mine in the stockpile, considering I know they've been threatening us that towards the winter we're going to be having less potato and the prices of them be going up. So again, if you haven't got any tin potatoes and you like to eat potatoes, I suggest you go and buy some now. Next thing, okay, let's go into the passatas, sauces, and all the tomato-based products. At the moment, all of them are still a lot under £1. The sauces, okay, I've got the little one here, and the current price was 47 pence. As the ones, I think they're 56p now, but it's still a really, really good value. I've tasted each one of those brands from each supermarket, and they're all a-okay. As the ones a tad watery, but it's absolutely fine for 50p. You pick up a passata, and as the passata is now 60 pence, I think Lidl is 45, I would like to say. However, those things apart, guys, it's quite a better value considering you already have some herbs and spices inside it, so you don't have to add anything on. However, the consistency is different. The same thing, tomato puree is still like 50 pence, or 49 pence, sorry, in Lidl. It's still a really, 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 really good idea. And you can make a passata with that by adding on some water. So again, very surprising, but still very good for under £1 prepper item. Right. Might come not surprised to is the instant noodles, okay? They do them in every supermarket. The Lidls, that's new to Lidl, they were 32 pence. I'm pretty sure they're anywhere under 50p in all the major supermarkets. Many people say that you can't keep them for like much longer past the date. You can easily keep them here past the best before date until they start smelling a bit plasticky, which is off-putting but still safe. This is a really good prepper item. I have a pot noodles. You might be lucky enough to pick up a pot noodle sometimes beneath the £1, but this is still a really far better value. Of course, you have to add on your own flavourings to make it kind of a bit more tastier, but nonetheless, it's a really good, easy thing to have and cheap. Talking about proteins, guys, right, let's talk about proteins. It's harder with the protein to get something that is under £1 right now. However, right, sardines, I know many preppers have sardines. I only recently started buying them because I just, they're a good thing to have, but I kind of have a tuna fetish. Tuna is still 55p at the moment, which is really, really good. Sardines are 50, still 50 pence in Lidl. They have a different ones. They got some for 80 pence, but they do have the next one, whatever you pronounce it, and they are still 50p. Also, you can buy those kind of little pastes, which I know many preppers buy. I have a couple. I found them a tad grainy, but I found them that in home bargains they do them, and they're literally 43p, depends. They do them on a little deal sometimes, so this is a good substitute for people that maybe don't like tuna, don't like fish, but still like to have kind of protein-ish type thing. They're a good thing to have. Also, keep a lookout, again, that's what I mean, is to buying something like this. Sometimes they work on 99 pence in home bargains. I have a lot of them. I've been buying them in the bigger pots. However, if you're kind of shopping under the £1, keep an eye on those in the home bargains. They sometimes are 99 pence. Okay, so that covers the proteins. Moving on, guys, to dried legumes type things. Generally, you buy them in the bigger bags, and yes, they obviously cost you quite a bit more. However, if you are shopping like on the budget and would like to have a little bit at the time, things like dried peas from Tesco's, they're still 50p for 250 grams. I've grown those right now, and they're growing kind of a-okay, but they are literally a stewing pea rather than fresh eating pea. Nonetheless, I was happy with the results. So 50p, that's good. That'll give you a good 2 portions of soup. The same thing again. I bought some white beans. They were from Lidl. That was a Greek week, and they were 99 pence as well. So they are 500 grams, and I thought that was quite a good value. Again, especially guys, if we're shopping on the budget and we would like to get a little bit of everything, that's a good way to go. So keep an eye on that in Lidl. As we are here in the back, sage and stuffing mix from Lidl. Okay, they are still 54, 59 pence. Okay, I think they're still a good idea. Yes, they're breadcrumbs with a bit of a seasoning. However, I think, and I have a lot of them, and I bought them and then I vacuum packed them into the bigger bag. It's a really, really good sort of filling meal to add them on. If, for example, we're lacking just like in substance in, you know, in the shops or whatever else. They're a good thing to have, just add on that volume and a bit of carbs and a bit of sort of fillingness to your meals. So I think they're a really good thing to have, and still really cheap for basically a lot under a pound. As I'm here, guys, at the back, we're talking about water. You can still pick up, this is not from Lidl, but from Lidl, from Sainsbury's, Tesco's, you can still buy an individual bottle of water for between 29 and 35 pence. I got those from Booker's, however, you can still get them. So if you can't afford to, or don't have the space to be able to buy or bring home a whole multi-pack of 6 bottles, you can still pick it up, and I think it's still really, really cheap as well. Right, next thing, of course, it's one of the, I'm not saying the best prepping things, but one of those, it's bleach. It's unscented bleach. It is 50p in Lidl. As you know, bleach is one of the uses that you can use bleach for. Sorry, it's for purifying water in the stress scenario. We're talking about literally a few droplets for a gallon of water. I think 8 droplets for 4.5 litres. So again, it's absolute must as a prepper to have bleach. Against just having the cleaning properties, obviously the disinfecting properties of water, I think it's absolute must, and still under a pound. Sugar, okay, this one is not from Home Bargains, but Home Bargains still do sugar for 89 pence, which is absolutely great. Pickles, preserves, whatever guys you're doing, it's a must prepper item. I think every prepper stores sugar, whether you guys eat sugar or not, or it's a good butter item as well. So it's still 89 pence, still the cheapest, because the next one, I think Lidl is 109, as there is 119, if not a little bit more now. So you can see you have to be kind of on it to get the best deal. So, but yeah, sugar. Right, a fake cheese, I call it a plastic cheese. This one is Napolina, this one from Home Bargains, and that was 89 pence. So as they do a bigger one, it's like £1.20, but again, we're talking about items under a pound. I thought that wasn't too bad, so I've got a few of those, and I've got some others I want to do anyway, but it's a good thing to have. Candles, you can still buy them from like Pound Shop or from Tesco's. You can often pick them up rough size like this for about 89 to 99 pence. Again, not everywhere, guys, but if you go into the shops, check out their candle section. It's summer now, midsummer. It's a good time to buy some if you're not ready for the winter, or if you wanted to prepare for the winter. I'll cover this in a different video. Talking about jars, preserving jars, 99 pence, still from Home Bargains. 99p for a half a litre jar, and £1.29 for a litre jar. Again, absolutely still, they're like 3 times cheaper than buying a bowl or kilner. And I know some people like swear by, say just bowl jars are the best. It's the same. They've been in a pressure can, I've over pressurized them, they still survive. Stills are still there. I've been using them for hot water bath canning, for normal jam canning. They're absolutely fine. So 99 pence is a steal, even if you're just using them for a dry food storage. Right, yeast, still under a pound, brilliant. You still get a few, how many sachets now? I can't remember, 6 or 7 sachets, 7 grams. That's a lot of yeast, and again, this is like 50 or 60p, so absolute bargain and a must-have. The same way talking about the baking powder, it's 89 pence, I believe. I've got a few of those. Again, if you do baking, it's a good thing to have, and it's got other properties in there as well. So to me, it's a must-have. Vinegar, 29 pence. We have the malt vinegar, and we have a red. So this is distilled malt vinegar, and then you get the red, just the malt vinegar. 29 pence, guys. Vinegar, again, how many properties got in terms of disinfecting, cleaning, and of course preserving. You cannot do preserves without vinegar if you want to do like cold preserves, like pickles. So absolute must, and super cheap. I normally buy mine in a bigger 5-litre tubs from Amazon, and I can buy 2 of them for about £11, which is kind of good. But this one is 568 ml, so it works out kind of the same. But again, guys, if you don't have the space to buy big ones or the budget to buy them in a bulk, then you can still buy them really cheap. So I know some of you guys in America are going to laugh at me, because it's pretty much a giveaway price, isn't it? Right, so Worcestershire sauce as well. They currently do them on Lidl at 65 pence, few pence off. Absolutely love the stuff, and it's actually tastes to me just as good as a leading brand. This one is 150 millilitres, but it's so cheap, and it literally will last you indefinitely. So that's a good thing to have. Moving on to, guys, we're now talking about tablets. I mentioned them time and time again. Between 32 pence for paracetamol and 42p for ibuprofen. Just to clarify to you guys, in America and different countries, this is only 16 tablets. Our packets of tablets that you can buy in the supermarkets only come in 16 or 8, which is not a lot. So this maybe when you do your price comparison, just bear this in mind. It's not like 100 or 50 pack, it's just 16. However, it's a prepping item. It's so cheap, and I pick up a couple as we go. Right, plasters and dressings. Again, they rocketed prices in Tesco's and Asda's and men's supermarkets. However, home bargains, you can still pick them up for like 54 to 59 pence. There's some things that are even cheaper if you go for like a traditional type plasters, but there is a lot of like dressing and things in home bargains you can pick up way below the pound. And this is where now buy all the prepping for medical things are in home bargains, because they're that much cheaper. Okay, right. Shit, tin foil. Okay, as the price now gone up to £1.20, and it's absolutely atrocious. I hate, it's the worst tin foil ever. However, finally found, I haven't seen one in Lidl for like ever, is the Lidl tin foil. It's still 99p, still holding up the price, which is really good. To me, I think it looks like it's going to be the same shit quality like as the one. However, I'm going to give it a go, but it's 99 pence and it's kind of cheap, so I'm just going to put it in the cupboard. I actually got to use it for a so I can let you know how good it is or how bad it is. So yeah, 99 pence. Believe it or not, guys, you can still pick up crappy little torches like this from like pound shop, or sometimes supermarkets do like, and I said discounted areas, but they have like like Morrison's, and you can often pick up things like this for like 99 pence, or maybe just a few pence over £1.09, but they're super bright, and it's actually okay. It's just Chinese stuff, but guys, like, it's fine just to show it, live in a car, living on a shelf somewhere. We need to have few anyway. Things the same as lighters. You can still buy lighters under £1. Things like the cook's matches, they're currently 54 pence. I don't know if it tells you how many. It's basically they're tall matches, okay? And yes, as a prepper, guys, you might wonder why bother. I don't know. I have an OCD and I want to be over prepared, so I will have a multiple options of fire starters. So we have many options to be able to start the fire, but for some reason matches, it seems like a good idea as well, because again, because they're individual and you could kind of barter for them if you really have to, if you're really desperate. You can't do so much with the lighters unless you buy few, which is, again, guys, if you don't have any, have a look on eBay and buy them on bulk. It kind of works out a touch cheaper than buying them individually. Okay, so and like things like the flame fast, again, the flame starters that are 69 or 59 pence in home bargains and many other supermarkets, still I think is a really good value. Talking that petroleum jelly and cotton balls that can all be used as a fire starters as well. Petroleum jelly was 89 pence from home bargains, and cotton ball buds, there were 80, I'm pretty sure it was 89 or 85 pence as well. I remember the old days where you can buy like a whole, almost a kilo of cotton buds for £1 in the pound shop. However, now it's 100 pieces and it's just under £1. But again, it's okay to be able to have one of those things, guys. Again, is another option of having a fire starter. Plus, they have many other uses as well. Right, moving on to, let's talk about, emergency blankets. You can still pick them up for 99 pence in like things like the home bargains, or have a look on Amazon. If you buy multiples of packs, there it does being about £1 each. For all you who follow the channel, you saw me camping. You know those towels, okay, from home bargains. They're still 99p, and yes, they're super wet, super giant towels. So if you're preparing for a lack of water, or just to be able to put something out in your sort of bag out back if you have one, they're a good thing, and they're still cheap considering how wet they are and how big it is. So yeah, a good thing to have. I'm moving on to, forgot to mention my little citrus juice from Lidl, 34 pence. They've gone up from 28 a little while back. They're still stable, 34p. I know you can buy them as a bulk again online. I prefer those to the big ones. For some reason, it tastes to me a bit different. 200ml for 34 pence. I use them on obviously now with a canning to add on my tablespoons of, because I've got tiny little dispenser. I absolutely love them, and I normally when I used to do a lot of them, I just kind of stock up and buy a lot of the time. Haven't bought any recently, but they're still there. They're still 34p, and again, invaluable because of the acidity and obviously being slightly lemony flavors. A lot you can do with that. Tablets. Energy tablets, vitamin tablets, you can buy those again any supermarket. They're 89p to a pound, depending on the brand and the flavor and the type. Absolutely brilliant thing to have. Again, they don't have expiration date, they have a best before date. So even if they're there past the best before date, they'll still give you a flavor and they'll still give you some energy or some vitamins depending on what you buy. Then we have chocolates. Have to have sweet stuff, whether you like it or not. I don't particularly like chocolate, but my other half and the baby do. You can buy anything, guys, really cheap ones to really expensive ones, but at the moment the Asda's and Lidl and Tesco, the basic budget cooking chocolate is 36p. It's not particularly the nicest thing to eat, but again, they taste a-okay, great for cooking, and some people might just like it. And you can buy something bigger or better. Again, only a tiny bit better, but 55p. But there's so much choice in like Lidl for under a pound of different chocolates. Literally in here we have the whole aisle of different chocolates, different colors, whatever. So perfect for a chocoholic or just a prepper to stock up. And I have here toothpaste. You get again from all the supermarkets at the moment, and I'm still like, I literally just first time, maybe sounds horrible, but paid attention to the bottom shelf of a supermarket and a toothpaste. You can pick up some toothpaste for like 50p. I really don't know how good it is, but there is a lot of them between 50p and a pound. There's a good few options to choose from. So if you are really on a budget or you can afford to stock up on the dearer ones but want to have something in your prepper pile just in case, then have a look. And as I said, every supermarket has one, and that kind of packaging looks okay. They don't look totally like, you know, inappropriately bad, so you can get them. At the same time, guys, I was really surprised. They're talking about the hygiene, the female hygiene. Lidl do a personal hygiene for ladies for like 50p as well, and I was really surprised considering price of a leading brand right now. 50p for a pack of like 12 things. It's like, okay. I know sometimes things like sort of disappear, come into Lidl and disappear. I must say I never really kind of 100% paid attention, but they had a big selection, and for 50p, I'm like, okay, that's really good. That's, if you guys need to stock up, then go and have a look in Lidl. It's literally worth it. And last thing, I think, guys, last but not least, is talk about the chocolate parts. This is, right, my husband said he remembers this when we used to go to Italy. It's a chocolate hazelnut spread, and they had them in home bargains, guys, 99p. I looked at it first, I'm like, okay, whether it's the one we had or not, I couldn't remember. But you know, even the cheaper branded chocolate, we're still looking like £1.50. This is by far superior. And I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I've got some. I've got 4 of them. They only had like 6 or 8 on the shelf. And I think it told me off for not buying more because they're actually that much better. So if I go next time, I might pick them up. But this is kind of the point, guys, when we're talking about if you prep it on the budget, you get a certain amount of things. It's kind of, you can set yourself as a challenge, to be fair. I think the time where the prices are going through the roof, I think I've drawn the line on certain things, prices I'll pay on certain things, and now I'll only buy them if I find them on a deal. So kind of hunting down for things like this, when the prices are good, and you know, the item is far more superior, it's kind of a bit of a challenge, but kind of a good challenge. It gives you something rather than just, it gives you more satisfaction of getting something for your prepper's pile when you know you actually picked it up at a really, really good price, rather than just paying full price because you have to anyway. So I think, guys, I've covered pretty much everything. There is loads more things you can buy, guys, and we are going to do the video because we partner with some other company in China. They do a load of stuff for home, and they have a lot of prepper items you can pick up like really, really cheaply. So watch out, the video will come up in a week or so. But anyway, hopefully I've covered the kind of my items that I know. There are probably really loads more of items that you choose to buy that are under £1 and maybe more relevant to your family. This is kind of a bit relevant to us. And I just wanted to give you guys in America or different countries just an idea what else you can pick up for under £1 or in one video. So anyway, guys, hopefully enjoyed it. Enjoyed the video. Thumbs up. Subscribe maybe if you haven't already. And I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.